Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our time together. I'm Lori Lamantia, and I'm here with the beautiful Trisha Fisk.
Good morning, everybody.
And today we've got a big topic, which is forgiveness. And what we're going to talk about is forgiveness from the perspective of that it is something we do for another, but for ourselves. The forgiveness is for you as much as it is for another person. And I was at a class all weekend. It was a beautiful class about basically talking with God, which was lovely. And the instructor said she always does a forgiveness exercise as a part of helping us release any resentments and regrets and rejections or resistances that we might have, or that might be blocking us from getting full connection to that source or creator or God or, divine energy that we're all a part of and all connected to. And so the forgiveness energy or process is really lovely and important for bringing back our energy back to us. And I think that's an important aspect of the our conversation here today. Trisha, how would you want to um, foster this conversation?
I think that an element I just really want to add to it is the self forgiveness piece. Sometimes we forget that things that can happen in life that don't turn out the way we want to are often lessons in life too. And the
Yes.
forgiveness for ourselves for still needing lessons. I mean, it sounds so simple, but it's true. If we were not needing any lessons or learning, we probably wouldn't be an incarnation on this earth right now. So I want to bring along the fact that when we talk about forgiveness for others and towards situations and things, that it's as important that it's directed for ourselves as well.
Right. Totally, because that, sometimes we can feel not only resentment, and I think the word resentment, I'm going to bring that back a lot because, whenever someone hurts us, we can feel regret or resentful
Mm-hmm.
of them, but we can also be mad at ourselves. And
Mm-hmm.
that, so not only the forgiveness to the other, but I think you're absolutely right. Giving us ourselves the grace, giving ourselves, letting ourselves off the energetic hook as well. And it doesn't
Right.
mean you didn't learn the lesson or learn what you needed to learn.
Well, because if we don't let ourselves off the hook, we may not take those risks to jump in again. We start being self-protective and limiting, which is the worst thing you can do.
Right. That little kid, that dancing through the day is, they don't have that. I gotta, oh my gosh, I'm afraid, and that does come when we don't give ourselves the forgiveness uh, that we crave too, the maybe that
Right.
another could crave. That one of the visuals that I think is so powerful when I was learning about forgiveness was one of my teachers said, imagine that there's this big cloud over you, and that cloud is the energy of the whatever happened. It's it's all this big energy swirling, and it's got all the connections to all the people who were involved, you, the other person, the other people, but it's all this big energy cloud. And everybody connected with it has like an umbilical, like a tentacle
Mm,
between them and that cloud, and the cloud swirling. And depending on how big it was, depending on how much energy people are throwing at it, it can be a pretty big cloud. And so you have this umbilical, and then the other people have umbilicals, and you might have a little bit of an umbilical to each other, but for sure to the big cloud of the event. And so what he said was that when you do forgiveness, you're basically cutting your energy umbilical to that. You're freeing your energy up not to be keep feeding that cloud, but return it back to you for, like you said, whatever creation or new experience you want. But if you keep umbilicaling yourself to that old experience, probably in the past, for sure, maybe in the present, you're part of that whole energy cloud. You're also getting all the energies from whatever the cloud's got going on. And I thought that was a really brilliant visual to see yourself disconnecting from that cloud. So you're, because it's electricity, it's energy, you're pulling yourself back from it and not participating in all of it anymore. That's forgiveness, that's the releasing of yourself from that situation and from the people who are still might be still feeding the cloud. How does that
That's a
feel?
yeah, it's a beautiful visual. Yeah, no, that's perfect, I think. Right.
So powerful, right?
Yes, it is. Yes.
In the class this weekend, I said, "Well, how do you, is it helpful to say out loud, 'I forgive you'?" And of course, it is. The energy of "I forgive you" is so powerful. But somebody texted in the chat and said, as long as it's not from your ego saying, "Oh, I'm so superior," that she didn't say that.
Right.
That's what I heard. I thought,
Right.
no, I'm not, I'm forgiving you because I'm bigger than that. No, that's an idea, but this forgiveness experience that we're talking about is really about an energy experience, and it's not about an ego, trying to be greater than or better than or superior to. It's really about freeing yourself up from the drama cloud that is swirling.
Right. It's a forgiveness in a non-dual way. Because the I forgive you out loud can be the dualistic I won or I should have
Hmm.
won.
Right.
But the real forgiveness is non-dual. It's I'm disconnecting. I no longer want to lose energy to this cloud. I want all my energy back for myself
Right.
as I move
Absolutely.
forward. Yes. And jump into taking chances again and taking risks and moving forward. And yeah,
I think one of the things, and another aspect of this forgiveness piece, which is I think is really important for us to forgive, is that we mine the gold of why we were in the middle of that situation in the first place. We were there. What 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 did it give us? What benefit did we get from being in that situation? Or what learning did we garner? I learned that I matter in a relationship. Could be the thing your soul was trying to understand. And that relationship or that experience gave you an understanding of boundaries or understanding what your yes was or what you're willing to say yes to and no to. It might give you an understanding of your no. I mean, everybody is so different, but every experience is giving us a gift. I keep wanting to use the word gift, even though it doesn't feel like an appropriate thing. People are like,
but
but there is a learning, there is a growth, a
yes,
transformation that comes from things that um, are sitting, that we bring into our lives. And
right,
we're totally talking about releasing yourself, the resentment or the regret or the feeling of hurt or rejection or whatever, so that you are a full on, full energy being now, again,
right,
restored.
right. And willing and able to step into your next, your next, right. Opening up that, changing that fork in the road that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. So, yes, that forgiveness is getting all of your own energy back so that you can move forward open again and not protected. Because we know that when we start to put the protection on, we limit our ability to really experience what is moving forward.
Yeah,
If we're
when you
only
said it like, yeah.
willing,
Hmm.
yeah, if we're only willing to move forward with feeling safe then we're not really moving forward at all.
When you said that, I saw this like armor bubble, come over you. And there's nothing wrong with putting white light and love and peace and a pink bubble around you for, safety and grace and good stuff. But when we armor up, in certain circumstances, totally require arming up. That's okay. But when we live our lives armored up, and armor to me, does feel like it's got an element of resentment or fear or worry or, or anger or whatever it is. Stay back, life. Um,
Right. Or I'm only going to let myself experience these things. I'm not going to let my experience self experience those things. And then we've just created a limit for fully experiencing anything.
right. And we part of the class we were taking is you go up to God or Creator and you get the download of what it feels like to be safe so that you don't have to armor up, or you ask for the understanding of how to operate with clarity, or I understand, I download a creator's perspective of how to have a yes and how to have a no and how to give it and how to live with a boundary or whatever it is your learning was. Download that learning from creator and let it seep into all your cells so that you can walk in that knowledge that I am safe and I'm open to all the magic of life. This is everyday prosperity, right? That's the name of this podcast. And that's really forgiveness is so you can have your everyday prosperity experience. Great if the other person does too, but that's their choice.
Right. And if you're willing to look at the experience from a place of learning or curiosity,
Yeah,
then that enables you to trust moving forward too, because you'll know you'll see it again. You'll
right.
know you'll recognize it. So
Right.
it's like if you really learn a lesson, you don't have to learn it twice.
No, you go,
You're
oh, I sniffed this one. I see this one.
right.
Ah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go left instead of right. Or maybe
Right.
I'll go, yeah.
And
There's
over time, you do end up just not even going down the road. There's my life in 5 chapters. I think we've talked about it before. I walk down the road, I fall in the hole. It takes me a long time to get out. Um, I get out of the hole. So chapter 2, I walk down the road, I see the hole, I fall in. It takes me less time to get out of the hole. Chapter 3, I'm walking down the road, I see the hole, I try and avoid it. I still fall in the hole. I get out instantly. Chapter 4, I walk down the road, I step around the hole, I don't fall in. Chapter 5, I don't go down the road at all. I don't, so the idea that we will not, we'll keep falling into these patterns, no, will mind the gold of it. And at some point, we don't even take that road anymore. And we're free of it. We don't have to we won't have to have that experience again because we have given ourselves the gift of learning about our magnificence. I feel like if I were to look at all the lessons of all the stuff that I have encountered, it is all comes back to Lori, you're magnificent. You're a piece of God. And anything that we run into on this earth is just to help us realign to, oh, oops, forgot. Oops, forgot.
right. And that's the whole of the Yoga Sutras is we just forgot. And so all of these things are are meant not to push us down further, but to bring us back to that, to knowing we're already divine.
Right. And let me not be remiss in saying that coming into 3D and trying to be human on the earth at any time, but especially this time, it is an art form. It's a master level course. Let us not be
Yes,
flip
that's for
about
sure.
it. You know,
That's for
it
sure.
we are doing it. We're trying to walk the talk. And sometimes we get a big one or we get a little one, but thing that is a big pothole versus a little pothole. But it's all in service to I'm walking down the street of freedom, of love, of joy, of independence, of sovereignty, of magic.
And let yourself feel that. Don't protect yourself so much that you can't feel the magic.
Right. That, right. Now and forever, no matter what time of frame of life we live in, that's the gift we give ourselves. And to get distracted by all the stuff going on in the outside world, unless it distracts you into more joy,
Mm.
mm, I'm not sure it's worth it.
Right, right,
I'm not sure it's worth it.
right.
You had that beautiful poem. I feel like we
Yeah.
covered this. I don't know. Is there anything else we want to say?
No, I think we're right on track today. So
Yeah.
yes, again, this is from these Rumi oracle cards, which are so beautiful. Alana Fairchild, um, and after every card, there's a prayer, a sacred honoring ritual. So that's where this is coming from. I trust in the great genius unfolding in my life, and I give thanks for the blessings of grace now flowing into my heart. I trust in the perfection of my being unfolding with innate intelligence and wisdom. I accept my destiny with a peaceful and trusting heart. Please help me to surrender the stories, attachments, fantasies, and fears that have held me back from living my heart's desires fully. I now choose unconditional trust in the loving genius of life to lead me into my fulfilled destiny.
Trust in the great genius of life. And
So
so
trust,
brilliant.
yeah,
Yeah.
trust in that divine aspect of yourself.
Because interestingly enough, you brought yourself to whatever thing needed forgiveness. You're mining the gold of the learning, and then you own that, and you get to go on as a sparkly ball of light as long as you disconnect through forgiveness from the drama bubble, the drama cloud, and you give
Great. Yeah.
yourself the grace of forgiveness to yourself. And don't you deserve it? Would you? One of my teachers always said, you know, if a little kid falls and it trips trying to learn, do you pick it up and say, "Hey, dummy," and be mad at it and not forgive it? You say, "Oh, that's okay. You're okay. You're learning how to walk." This that's the kind of energy I think that I would love for us to own with forgiveness of ourselves. Hey, it's okay. You had a little trip. You're going to stand up and you're going to walk just fine. Good job.
Right. Let me kiss that knee and get up and walk again.
Yeah, let me kiss my own knee. Good job, you little cutie pie. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and practice. Give yourself the gift of forgiveness, and whoever you're holding a resentment or a regret or a hurt from. Lots of love to you all.
Swaha.
Waha.